Hi guys, I wanted to talk to anyone who wants to listen today about People Tree. And they are a fair trade clothing brand based in Britain. And if you don't know, fair trade basically means that workers who produce clothing get a fair price for the clothes that they make. So, what generally happens in the world today is that the people who make our clothes aren't paid fairly, um, and they're made to work in really hazardous conditions, um, where they get burns from toxic chemicals, where their buildings are not safe to work in and they collapse and there are subsequent deaths. Um, they have to live, often men will travel from their communities and have to leave their wives and their children to work in the slums, in garment factories, in cities like Dhaka, Bangladesh, and in Peru and India, and all over less developed countries, essentially. And they're paid a pittance for their work and not able to build a life for themselves. So what fair trade does is gives people who have way less than even the poorest people in Canada have, um, a chance to live their life with dignity. It gives them a chance to send their children to school, to work in a safe condition, to make sure that women are paid just as much as men and actually are able to have work. It means that craft skills such as artisanship and hand weaving and screen printing by hand gets to continue, which is a truly beautiful thing. Um, I've been a big supporter of fair trade since I discovered what it was, and I thought it just um, I thought it just applied to like coffee and chocolate, but it really does. Anything can be bought fairly traded, so if you can afford it, it makes all the difference for people around the world and also for the ecosystem, because conventional cotton, when it's made, is actually contains really toxic chemicals and it's sprayed with pesticides that then leach into the ground and then leach into our water supply and also make its way, through the food chain, through the animals that we end up eating, and the crops that we end up eating, and the crops that are ingested by animals that that we then eat. And basically no ecosystems can survive. 0.4% of live matter exists in conventional cotton fields versus it's 4 times that in organic cotton fields. And when someone grows organically, farmers are taught how to tend to the crops and mix the crops so that pests and insects who would spoil the crops stay away, without actually killing them. So that's great. And I first heard of fair trade in terms of clothing manufacture when actress and now Goodwill ambassador for the UN, Emma Watson, designed a clothing brand. I'm not sure. Sorry, this is just really blurry. So I just wanted to show you guys some of the pieces that I got from her collections. They were made in 2010 and 2011. But if you go on ebay.co.uk, and search for People Tree, there's a lot of clothing you can still find, from her collections and from various other really talented designers that have worked for People Tree. And of course, you can support People Tree directly by buying their clothing, to support their artisans all over the world, and to support organic agriculture by visiting peopletree.co.uk. But for now, I'll just show you the clothing that I have because it's really beautiful, and I don't think a video will do it justice. But I don't see really any other People Tree videos up on YouTube, so I really wanted to push that and to put this up there, even though I don't really care that much about making videos. I thought this was important. So my first thing I'm going to show you is my favorite piece. This is a dress. So this is actually the front of it. It's got a scoop neck line and cap sleeves, and this really beautiful hand embroidered detail at the bottom. It's made out of soft jersey organic cotton, so it's absolutely beautiful, and the hand embroidery there is absolutely gorgeous, so it's my favorite piece from the collection. This is made out of the same jersey cotton fabric, but it's a gorgeous design that Emma made. Basically, it's a shoulder dress, which is, I feel like it's very Woodstock, it's very 60s, but it just goes like this when you wear it, so it's very, very pretty. And it has a cinched waist, and it also has little pockets. I don't know if you can see there, pockets in the inseam, which is really nice. And then there is this waistcoat, which I can put on for you. So it goes on like that. It's really nice. It's got this collar. So it's just like a tailored to fit blazer. And the buttons do up here, so it ends up looking like that. It's really very pretty and tailored to fit. And it's made out of this very satiny gray color. And on the pocket, it's embroidered. It says School of Fair Trade on the pocket there. It's very hard to see though. The next items I have are from her next collection, which were released in the summer of 2011. So the next summer. Oh, sorry, just have to. So the first thing is this organic cotton. All of the pieces are made out of organic cotton, but this one feels especially soft. It's this really cute peasant blouse, and it's got 2 layers here, so that's what it is like, and you tie it up. Once again, I can show it to you. I feel like this top was just getting in the way, so I'm going to take it off. It comes in black as well, and I have the black one. But I like this one because it's kind of a bluish gray color, and you don't see, this is not a very common color palette that you see around, so this is it. You can see how it's really very beautiful, how it's tailored, and it's cut down into kind of a V-neck here. It's got embroidery detail on the shoulder, so that is lovely. That's also one of my favorite pieces. I get complimented on this a lot. And it just carries around the back like that. This is hand screen printed, which is really cool. I'll stand up and show it to you. So, it is actually this dress here, which is really very beautiful. This is all done by hand. Like, I can't impress what it means to make something by hand. This is all done by hand. Like, if you were to think about the time and the effort that would have to go into making this dress, so it's 100% organic cotton, so the cotton would have to be picked, then it would have to be made into yarn, then the yarn would have to be spun, then the yarn would have to be washed and dyed, it would have to be made into the fabric itself then the fabric would have to be cut by a pattern cutter, and then it would need to be stamped by a hand screen printer. They actually used inkwells for this. They had little designs on rubber ink stamps, and they stamped it on, which you can actually see in some of People Tree's videos on YouTube for how they got this detail. And the last thing that I have with me is this really nice checked shirt. It was from People Tree's collection in 2013. Emma Watson was just like a co-advisor on this one, so she didn't design all the pieces. But she was wearing this shirt in one of the promos, and I thought it was really cute. So it's a checked fabric, it's woven, and it's fleece, and it has these beautiful little buttons. They're white, like shell buttons, and they're really nice. So yeah, I mean, certainly if you don't have a lot of money like me, you have to save your money. Save your money for something that's really important and really special that you'll have for a long time. I mean, I've had these items of clothing for 4 to 5 to 6 years now, and you know, I still love them as much as the day that I got them. And the thing with organic cotton, which is really amazing, is that it stays soft after you wash it again and again and again, and it also holds its color. It doesn't fall apart in the wash at all, and it doesn't fade. Like, this is just as nice as the day I got it, and that was 6 years ago. So it is really amazing, and you know, if you have money saved, it's definitely worth the investment if you care about people and if you care about the planet. If you have the option to buy something fair trade or not fair trade, you know, buy fair trade. And I think being in Canada and even in the States, it's really hard to find things that are fairly traded. But I mean, even if you go on Etsy and you just buy things that are handmade by, you know, people who do that as their home run business, that would really help as well, because anything that's grown from organic cotton is really good for the planet and the ecosystem. It helps reduce your carbon footprint, and fair trade items help people lead better lives without just, you know, you giving to charity. You're giving to something that helps empower people to work and to do something that they love. And allowing them to work in conditions that they deserve, you know, that every human deserves. And unfortunately, that's not given to everyone around the world. It's horrible. So the other thing, if you want to learn more about fair trade fashion, you can watch The True Cost, which is a great documentary by a filmmaker called Lucy Siegel, and it's now available on Netflix. Okay, thank you very much, and my name is Rachel Hanna. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm a social justice advocate, sociology student, and a writer. I'm hoping to publish my first book soon. So thank you very much for listening, and buy fair trade.